So Chris and I, we're on the road. We've got a bunch of drones with us. We're headed to the Woodstock Square where they film Groundhog Day. So we're gonna get some Punxsutawney Phil shots with a bunch of drones. Chris, what did we bring today?
What's up, guys? We got the Mavic 3, the Air 2S, the Mini 2, and the Autel Evo 2.
All right, so we're gonna fly these drones, similar paths, put them to the test, and let you guys decide which ones you think are best. So if we're lucky, we'll run into Ned Ryerson or maybe even Bill Murray. Okay, so we will be comparing all of these drones, but we thought it might be fun to make some head-to-head comparisons. And the first one is the David versus Goliath matchup, the Mavic 3 versus the Mini 2. Can the little guy even compare to DJI's new flagship drone? After watching some of the footage, we were pretty surprised. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of our comparisons. Stay tuned as we fly around the Woodstock Square to compare the Mavic 3 to the Mini 2. Okay, so our first stop is the iconic Woodstock Opera House. This is a fun little building that, of course, did show up in the movie. Most famously, Bill Murray tried to end the repetition of Groundhog Day by jumping from it, which, of course, we know didn't work. He woke up with Sonny and Cher in the morning. Kind of a sad scene, but pretty darn cool looking building. Now we're going to start by taking a glimpse at it with the Mavic 3. Now all the shots here with the Mavic 3 are in 5.1K. If you look closely, you'll notice at the top and the bottom the aspect ratio is a little different, so that's something you got to note when you're shooting in 5.1K. Now here we have a similar shot with the Mini 2. Now the Mini 2 here, we're filming in 4K. Now with this sun directly behind the building, it's a difficult shot for the Mini. The next place we went was the gazebo. It's a great little subject in the center of the square. We thought it'd be a great idea to do an orbit of the square with that little gazebo in the center. Now, with the Mavic 3, right now, there's no orbit mode, right? There are no quick shots. There are actually a lot of features that are currently missing from this drone. Now, it is currently December 2021. In January 2022, most of these features will be released. This drone will just become a much better drone. But currently, Chris is flying this without the aids of all that DJI software. So this is a manual orbit around the center of the square. Now, with the Mini 2, there are quick shots, right? This orbit here is done using the quick shots. You just draw a little box around the gazebo and you tell which direction to go, how fast you want it to go, and it will fly that for you. So if you're looking for quick shots and you need it right now, the Mini 2 does that. The Air 2S will do that. The Evo 2 that we'll look at other views will do that, but the Mavic 3, not quite yet. All right, classic top-down shot. Love the bird's eye view. We're just going to fly over the square here. Again, this is with the Mavic 3. Again, notice the little aspect ratio change. You'll notice that at the top and the bottom, you got those little black bars. So that's just something that's, I think, kind of annoying shooting in 5.1K. Eventually, I'm going to crop this, and it's not going to be 5.1K. Now, here is that same shot with the Mini. You'll notice here, I think the speed is definitely different. The Mavic 3 is a larger, more powerful drone, of course. The Mini 2 is a smaller, lightweight, sub-250-gram drone. Lots of advantages with that. All right, so now we're headed to the courthouse for a little droney action. And again, this was done manually, right? Just pull them back and away from the courthouse. And you can kind of see the difference here in the dynamic range. Now, the Mavic 3 was flown first, so the sun is a little bit higher in the sky. The Mini 2, we've got that sun just kind of killing the camera here. I adjusted it a little bit just because it was so dark. And that is really kind of the advantage of the 4/3 sensor. Now, we'll do actual darker almost nighttime video. The sun will go down here in a minute, and you can kind of see some of the differences. And that's what we're looking at here, right? This is a night shot. You see the beautiful lights lighting up the square. It just looks really crisp with this Mavic 3. That 4/3 inch sensor is fantastic. This camera is legit. It is the best camera that I've ever seen on a consumer drone. It is really, really nice. Hasselblad, color science, really good. Now, when we look at the Mini 2, you know what? It's actually not bad for a 1/2 2.3 inch sensor. It does a decent job at night. It's certainly not as crisp. You don't get the details. I almost felt like that Mavic 3 was lighting things up. Now here we zoom in 3 times, and this I think is where you're going to kind of probably see where it separates from the 2. Now zoom in, it looks still pretty good, whereas here with the Mini 2, when you zoom in 3 times, you're losing a lot of detail, and it's just not nearly as crisp as it was with the footage you're getting from the Mavic 3. But the Mavic 3 is $2,200. It's an expensive drone. It is really nice. It takes excellent pictures and video. I think once the firmware is updated in January and you get all those flight modes, that'll be really nice. But the Mini 2, sub 250 gram drone, you don't have to register with the FAA. You get by a lot of regulations in other countries. It's $450, and it's pretty darn nice for this little drone. It's super compact. You can throw it in your bag. There's something to say. Now here, I'm going to let you guys just kind of take a look at some of these comparisons. It's the same thing. We're going to see these shots over and over again. Groundhog Day repeating itself. But you go ahead and take a look, and you can compare and see for yourself. Okay, so we did a kind of side-by-side comparison of these two drones and their cameras, and it's pretty apparent that the Mavic 3 has the better camera. It should, right? It's got a larger sensor, and it costs a whole lot more money, $2,200, versus $450 with this Mini 2. Now, there is a case to be made for the Mini 2. I think the situation that we put it in was probably the worst for it, right? We're flying as the sun is going down with those kind of challenging lighting conditions. The Mini 2 will perform a whole lot better in most situations. These are some videos that we're looking at from the Mini 2 on a nice, well-lit day, and they're pretty darn crisp and clear and sharp. There's a lot to be said for that, right? For most people, this drone is probably all you'll need. It has a 31-minute flight time, a range of 10,000 meters. That's over 6 miles. It has all of the quick shots, right? So if you want to do an orbit, you just kind of push a button and it does it. It's a really nice drone, and the fact that it's really small and portable, less than 250 grams, you don't have to register it, and it skirts a whole lot of the regulations that come with flying larger drones like the Mavic 3. But you can see there are some clear advantages to flying the Mavic 3, especially in lower light situations, right? That 4/3 sensor is fantastic. It just is an excellent camera. Remember, there are actually 2 cameras on this thing. You have the telephoto lens as well, which is pretty similar to the one you got on the Mini 2 as the main camera, giving you the ability to zoom up to 28 times. It just is an excellent camera, but there's more to it than just the camera. It has a flight time of 46 minutes, up to 46 minutes, a range of 15,000 meters. That is over 9 miles. It has full 360-degree obstacle avoidance, and even features like advanced return to home, so you can fly longer and safer than really any other drone out there. So yeah, there's a reason it's $2,200 and up, but it is a really good drone with a lot of good technology, and with some firmware that's been promised by DJI, it should only get better. Hey, thanks for watching. Hopefully this was helpful and helped you decide what might be the best drone for you. Make sure you check out our website, halfchrome.com, and we give away a drone once a month to a lucky Patreon subscriber. Make sure you check out the details in the video description down below. Good luck, everyone, and happy flying.